Hello, welcome to Driven It Storytime. I'm out and about today. I'm visiting friends of mine who own this lovely black and yellow 2CV Charleston. Now, today's story brings us pretty much in a car that sort of ran parallel in transport for everyone for not a lot of money. But also it involves, or it doesn't involve, it includes a car. This is the last of the development of this particular model. And it's the model that people weren't really keen on. And it is funny, when you look back at some of these cars that we all love and dearly, or classic cars, there's certain ones that people go, yeah, I like that one, don't like that one, or like that one, and that one's all right. I'm a bit like this with the 2CV, because I do love a 2CV, but there's three models in particular that I always like, and it was the Club, because I liked all the chrome and the hubcaps and the better dashboard, and I like the square headlights. Don't care what people say, the square headlights I thought were absolutely phenomenal. Then I like the Charleston, but I'm conflicted with the Charleston because I like the black and yellow, but I also like the two-tone grey. Citroën were ahead of the game in the 80s, grey cars. No one really had grey cars back then. Citroën did, it was lovely. And also, then you've got the Dolly, and I think it's the blueberry and custard one. I always thought that was lovely, that dark blue with the creamy yellowy bits. Lovely. Those are the three 2CVs I like, out of all of them. I mean, they did a beach Kuma and a bamboo. Bamboo was hopeless. It was green with just a little sticker in it. It went bamboo. Oh. But yeah, that's what I liked. Anyway, get yourself comfortable, because I'm going to talk to you about today's car. Picture the scene, Germany, 1973, and I give you the VW Beetle. Not that you could tell it's a VW Beetle, it just says Beetle on the cover. There's nothing to tell you that it is, apart from that. Anyway, the VW Beetle. This brochure is intended to show the general appearance of the VW Beetle. Many of the illustrations shown equipment which is not to UK specifications, or is only available on special order. That was the trouble with Volkswagen. They gave you this very basic car, and then anything else you added on top of it, they were really, really basic. Really, really basic. Please refer to the back pages of the brochure for exact details of various Beetle models. Now, there's something here that says see it, drive it, choose it, own it, love it, buy it. We'll go through it. See it. Last year, we introduced a new Beetle. It is called the VW 1303. You'll notice the difference when you look over it. It's more attractive, more comfortable, more interesting, but still unmistakably Beetle. Now, that's where the problem lies with the 1303, because people had a bit of a problem with it, because the curved windscreen, the big, massive rear lights, and the bulbous front end, people didn't like it. And also, it's that McPherson strut suspension. It wasn't overly keen. People weren't overly keen on it. However, there was another change that this brochure will not cover, and I had no idea they did it. And even in my M brochures, they did not include it. It had rack and pinion steering. The last year of the 1303s, rack and pinion steering. A German friend told me this. I was like, no, rubbish, went through a book. He didn't lie. Yes, sorry, Vince, I called you a liar. I called you another name as well, but, you know, for YouTube, I just called you a liar. Not bad. Drive it. If you've never driven a Beetle before, God, you'll never drive another car again. My words, not theirs. The 1303 is a good one to start with. And if you have already driven a Beetle, you'll notice the improvements. More comfortable seats, a smart new interior, a curved windscreen, and this year, a stabilised steering system. Now I'm questioning that because they always had steering dampers, they're always stabilised. But some of their improvements they marked here, a smart new interior. Hopefully they're just talking about the dashboard, because come in the 70s, VW moved away from alabaster, leatherette, red leatherette. It all just went pretty much black, and you sort of went, it was a bit drab. Even though they had body colour inside, it was drab. Choose it. There are many cars in the Beetle family, and there are now, my words, not theirs, with different engine performances, different fittings and different prices. The economy VW 1200s, the popular VW 1300s, and at the top of the range, the VW 1300S. Own it. With a VW, the car itself is only half the story. The rest is driving. And to make that go smoothly, there is VW Insurance, VW Parts and Exchange Units, and worldwide VW service and computer diagnosis. Now, one day I'm going to do something about the VW diagnosis because it really was just insane. It really was. And it just needs its own story because it was fantastic. Love it. No, that's what it says here. Everyone who drives a Beetle can't help but develop a special fondness for it. It is actually true. It is actually true. As much as I do ride these things, I've got one. Yeah, you do. I don't know what it is about the Beetle, because they are hopelessly horrible to drive. But you do. You just go, oh, isn't it lovely? These, you drive these, love them, own them, love them, enjoy it. All of this, but still some. It's given pet names and trusted like a pet, perhaps because the Beetle has the essential qualities that make for friendship, reliability and loyalty. And also, it's not on Facebook and it doesn't share your personal details. Again, my words, not theirs. Buy it. To make the choice easier, you'll find in this brochure technical information on all Beetles and also a chart to help you select the colour. Ooh, it's getting quite exciting, isn't it? Ooh, and then we open up and we see the brand new Beetle. See the 1303 Beetle and see its new features. On the VW 1303, we've made so many improvements, they're beginning to show. And it really does. My words, not theirs. At first glance, it looks like any other Beetle. Look again and you'll spot some changes inside and out. At the back, large rear lights. You'll get a closer look at them later. They're fitted to redesigned wings, and we've set the bumper back a little. So you'll be just that much ahead of those following behind you. It's like they're making jokes. And if what you see of the seats looks new and what you can see of the windscreen looks unusual, you're right. And more's to come. Turn the page and let's get into the details. Now, I must just say here, the seats on these looked exactly, I mean, this was 1973. The seats on these looked exactly the same as what was on in 1968, if I'm bloody honest with you. But anyway, we're going to turn the page, we're going to get inside. See the 1303 Beetle, an open face and a distinctive tail. Front and back, the 1303 Beetle is really distinctive, from the high forehead in front and the big lights at the back. The windscreen isn't just 42% bigger, that's quite a lot, but more curved as well. See, I've got a bit of a problem here when they say more curved. Well, the windscreen was never curved to start off with. It was just very flat. It starts well down in the front hood and goes on into the roof to provide more headroom and better visibility for the driver and front passenger, and more safety too. At the back are the large rear lights. Pretty round, pretty big, pretty safe. When you drive at night, they're a shining example to all who follow, and they're ready glazed for additional reversing lights. Now that was quite something. Although they say additionally glazed to reversing lights. Through one of my VW books I went through, you could actually get these rear lights with the bottom part red, so they weren't. You could probably put a fog light in them, but yeah, they weren't quite always ready glazed. Anyway, returning more. Oh, see the 1303 Beetle. They like to repeat themselves, don't they? I wonder if they've got paid per word. If they've got paid per word or paid per different word, get that for free. Anyway, digress. See the 1303 Beetle with seats like easy chairs. They're not like this. I'll tell you something, I will bring the camera into it. My friend had these seats covered in, oh, you know, one of my favourites, getting a bit damp, houndstooth. And it looks absolutely stunning. I am going to put the camera in a bit later, don't worry. Take a seat up front and you'll notice it's well sprung and contoured too. You sit more comfortably and have good support when cornering. The backrest is also contoured to provide the lumbar and the lateral support needed to prevent fatigue on long trips. And when the backrest is folded down to reach through to the rear seat, it's held down automatically. There are strengthened floor fastenings for the seats and adjustment lever that's easy to operate. Little effort is required to bring the seats into position. And because no two shapes are quite the same. The new seats have been made to adjust to 77 different positions. Forwards, backwards. Now that's quite something. I mean, 2CVs you had literally here, 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 here. But you know, one thing you never found in a 2CV, you never found, oh, the backrest is too high, is too low. Somehow these seats were just spot on. Anyway, Volkswagens, they weren't. All the things that have made the Beetle famous have stayed the same. And the VW 1303 have all that made the Super Beetle super. Now, when they refer to the Super Beetle here, actually, they're referring to the first of the McPherson-Strutt ones, the 1302, one of my favourites. The efficient ventilation, the generous luggage space, the front axle on the Porsche principle, and the safety steering wheel. Plus, a lot of thoughtful details which make a big contribution to the comfort of a car. See the 1303 Beetle with a smart, sporty dashboard. The 1303 dashboard is as attractive as it is functional. Everything falls readily to hand. You'll notice the heater controls are slightly missing because they're still between the handbrake. My words, not theirs. The speedometer is well sighted and has a large anti-dazzle surround. You can see what's going on at a glance. Your speed, how much fuel is left in the tank, that the oil pressure is okay, that the battery is charging, whether the lights that should be on are on, and whether the blinkers that should be off really are off. All rocker switches are clearly marked and centrally located for ease of operation, and the entire dashboard is non-reflecting and padded. Safety, attractive and easy to keep clean. And while we are designing the dashboard, we take a fresh look at ventilation. The result? Really efficient distribution of both hot and cold air through well-located vents to help demist side windows and defrost the windscreen quickly and evenly. A continuous ventilation channel runs the full width below the windscreen. VW really are spoiling us, aren't they? Wow, they really, really are. Drive the 1303 Beetle with the engine of a world champion. There have been more engines of this type made than any other car engine, because more Beetles have been made than any other car in the world. The Beetle's engine is a 4-cylinder, 4-stroke, horizontally opposed engine. 4-cylinder. Because that's how many it's got. Oh, VW, they're making jokes. Horizontally opposed because that's the way they move. Depending on the Beetle you choose, you can have a 1192, 1285 or 1584cc engine producing 34, 44 or 50 brake horsepower, retrospectively. Because the Beetle's engine is rear-mounted, it weighs down the drive wheels and counteracts wheel spin, a useful feature on snow and ice and sand. Because it's air-cooled, it won't freeze or boil, and because it has an automatic choke, it starts effortlessly when you want to go. Drive the 1303 Beetle with the engineering of world champion. The VW 1303 has an elaborate axle design with semi-trailing arms at the rear and suspension struts up front. Now that's slightly a lie, because that semi-trailing back axle, I think really was more for the 1303S, because everything else had swing axles, but the 1303S had what they called independent rear suspension, or IRS, as they called it in the trade. Anyway, each wheel has independent suspension, which means it's individually sprung, so that one wheel won't be flying through the air. When it's twin, it's the hole in the road. It has the legendary Volkswagen fully synchromesh 4-speed gearbox, one of the Beetle's greatest features. There are many features the Beetle did which were quite good, but that was actually one of its main ones. The VW 1303, like all Beetles, has a dual circuit brake system, which will stop the car even if one circuit fails. And the VW 1303S has disc brakes up front. Now, do you know what? I'm going to go back here to what they said about the fully synchromesh gearbox as one of the Beetle's greatest features. Do you know what? No. One of the greatest features was on the Beetle of this time when they fitted dual circuit brakes. Because honestly, the single circuit brakes are incredibly scary when you think, oh, one circuit's gone, no brakes. Anyway, back to the story. A safety steering wheel sits on the safety steering column with a large crash pad and a shear-off interior element. The steering wheel stays steady in your hand because there's a steering damper to cope with the bumps on the road and keep steering calm. The 1303's stabilised steering system sets a new standard in car technology. It runs with the steering box. My words, not theirs. On most cars, when you hit the brakes in an emergency, chances are you'll veer to one side if the brakes or the road surface produce uneven resistance on the front wheels. The 1303 has its steering roll radius on the outside of its front wheels. This stops any uneven resistance putting the steering out of line. In other words, even when you brake hard, the car goes where you want it to. I want to see that in action, don't you? Choosing your Beetle. Let's have a look. Choose the Beetle. As a 1300 or a 1200. The Beetle is a car that knows no class distinctions, but it can make fine distinctions when it comes to budgets. It's economical in terms of operation, initial purchase and resale value, but even so, it's reliable, safe and comfortable. Firstly, there's the penny-pinching VW 1200 with its 1192cc engine and 34 brake horsepower. It will take you on the motorway for as long as you want at 70 miles per hour. Because even when it's running fast, its engine's running slow. Then there is the VW 1300A. Looks like a 1200, but has a bigger 1285cc engine. Now, I'm going to stop here because what I've told you there, for the UK at least, is a massive lie. I've lied to you. I do apologise, listener. I have lied to you because in the back it says standard UK specification 1200, 1300, 1303, 1303S. So this one here, the 1300A, that looks exactly like a 1200, black bumpers. I'll put a picture up, you know, we never got. Anyway, then there is the new VW 1300 Deluxe, which has a cruising speed of 78 miles per hour. That's illegal. Because it has a 1285cc engine with 44 brake horsepower and just a bit more comfort too. Fuller interior trim with a covered rear compartment to boost luggage space and a fresh air ventilation system as standard equipment. With a covered rear compartment to boost luggage space. They didn't, because even the 1200 had a space behind the rear seat for luggage. That's a lie. VW, you've lied. Choose the Beetle as a 1303 LS convertible or saloon. This is the Beetle we described in detail earlier. The fastest Beetle with a 50 horsepower engine and a cruising speed of 80 miles an hour. That's very, very illegal. My words, not theirs. With plenty of room for a family plus luggage, 10 distinctive colours to choose from. My God, VW are now absolutely spoiling us. The showpiece of the Beetle family, though, is the convertible, available on special order only. It's just as fast as the 1303S because it has the same engine, and just as steady because it has the same chassis. But many people who like driving in fresh air find it so much more exciting than a saloon. The convertible top is unhooked in a jiffy and folded back. You get all the sunshine and fresh air you want. When up, it keeps drafts and rain out where they belong. The top is a masterpiece in plastic and fabric. Oh, she didn't say plastic and elastic, but it's not, it's plastic and fabric, sorry. I'll start that again. This top is a masterpiece in plastic and fabric. 3 layers stitched together by hand, fitted by hand for a perfect fit. And actually they were, if you look at the soft top on a convertible Beetle, it was so thick and so insulated. That's why they literally stuck up so high when they were folded, because they were incredibly thick. And they did do just, and they did make a lovely job of it. The chic of the convertible appeals to the young at heart. It's gay and breezy, and as handy as a car should be for sporty driving. Altogether, a little dearer, but a lot more fun. Oh, do you know what? They don't use that with, not allowed now, they're not allowed to get cancelled if you start putting in brochures, oh, it's gay and breezy. You get cancelled. It's a shame, really, because, you know, it's happy and breezy, it's happy. They always make you feel happy, don't they? Yeah. Anyway, there's more. Choose the Beetle with a little extra. If we were to make all the extras a standard feature of the Beetle, a lot of people would be unhappy. I bet you they wouldn't. Not everyone wants the same thing, and not everyone can afford the same thing. But if you want more comfort, more luxury, more safety, order some of the many VW accessories when you're ordering your car. You'll get them expertly built in at a bargain price. Now, see, that slightly contradicts itself, doesn't it? Order these bits, get it built in, bargain price, but we're not going to fit them because it'll make the car too expensive. VW, make up your bloody minds. Anyway, with all-weather drivers, there are special bad weather accessories, halogen fog and spot lamps, a special rear fog light, mud flaps and stone guards for the front and rear. A car radio will provide entertainment and information on the way. 3 models are available, some simple, some with all the trimmings. Now, we get to this page here and it starts talking about VW diagnosis. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the bits that they put here for the diagnosis because I'm going to do a separate thing on that because it is absolutely wild what happens. So sorry, you're going to have to wait. We're going to do it into a second parter. And then we've got some other bits here about the advantages of owning a VW. So we're going to go through that. Own the Beetle, plus the advantages that come with it. Owning a VW has always been something special. Advantage number 1, VW quality. A great deal of craftsmanship goes into making each and every Volkswagen. That's what makes it reliable, economical, inexpensive to maintain, thrifty, and gives it high resale value. And that includes your Beetle too. Advantage number 2, VW service. VW has the most extensive and most comprehensive network in all Europe. This means all genuine VW parts and exchange units at reasonable prices, minimal repair times, which keeps costs down, efficient maintenance and computer diagnosis. All this is available for your Beetle too. Advantage number 3, VW insurance. Not only does VW supply cars, it supplies the insurance for them too, on reasonable terms and without much formality. So they're not going to ask you for your inside leg measurement. That's my words, not theirs. Although sometimes you think, yeah, what is that? Oh, I'm being saucy this time. Stop it, Stuart, you bad person. Anyway, VW's own insurance service. Insurance as reliable as the Beetle itself. Oh, went slightly off topic there, didn't I? Now, there's something here that just says about love the Beetle because it goes and goes and goes and goes, and it's got pictures of Beetles from around the world. The Beetle keeps going in Arctic cold and tropic heat. It goes in snowbound passes and in the desert. And then we get technical data and equipment, which I'm not going to bore you with because I'll tell you now, there was a lot of words there. There's a lot of words and I'm not going through all that. But you know, there's some bits about tells you what the options are and you literally go to your VW dealer and they'll fit those things expertly for you. And then there's a array of colours and what you can have the colours with and the interiors. And it says here, now this does surprise me, and this really does surprise me because you've got interior colours and you've got bamboo, mocha, black. Now those are in their cloth upholsteries and that's really for anything you want. And then you've got the leatherette, which is black. And then you've got the top material for the convertible. But anyway, these 3 colours though, in this cloth upholstery for the VW, the bamboo, mocha, black. In the UK, honestly, if you look at all the Beetles, and I've looked at many, many Beetles because I was obsessed with them as a child, it's very hard to find, so excuse me, bamboo and mocha. It was pretty much all black. And to be honest with you, when you look at the colours that you get on the model and what colour interior you get, you'll know why. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I did rather. I might actually just bugger off out on this, have a little spin, because you know, that's what we do. Anyway, mind you go, take care. See you soon. Now, I was going to show you what the interior is. Look at that interior. I mean, that is houndstooth and off. I mean, Charleston's shouldn't come with houndstooth, but I tell you now, you cannot fault that interior. And also, look, he's had it put on the headlining as well. It just is absolutely stunning. That is lovely, isn't it? I do love houndstooth. I don't know what it is. Oh, look, well, it doesn't look nice. So people didn't want them. But there we go. No, that's all gone wrong, isn't it? Redesigned wings. Redesigned. Fucking hell. I'm going to start that all again. Ready or off? Oh, for fuck's sake, that went wrong. Hang on. Be off. Really? Oh, really are, not ready. So it's my bloody glasses. See, I shouldn't read with my glasses on, but I've already started with my glasses on, so I'm going to carry on. Anyway, more engines. No. There have been more engines of this type made. Oh, yes, there have. Depending on the Beetle you choose, you can have a 19. No, you can't. It's a fucking 11. The 1303 stability. Oh, no, it's not stabilised. Choose the Beetle as a 1303. Oh, for fuck's sake. 1303. Is there much more? Oh, there really can't be much more. Fuck me, there's loads. What's this? At your VD... GoPro, stop recording.